All right, welcome back to week 3 of the Kick-Ass No Excuses Quick Start Boot Camp. Yes, that is a mouthful, where we are going to walking you through a process to get started in your internet marketing journey, working from home, being able to make passive income from home, whether it is a website, blog, product. I'm trying to show you all the different ways you can do it really quick so that you can choose the one that is right for you and there's no excuses. You can't do this, and showing it step by step along this process. And right now we are in week 3. So we're going to dive right in. So by now, if you've been following along with week 1 and 2, you should have already done your research. You should already have picked out a market, picked out a little sliver, find out what excites you, or a problem that you want to solve for yourself, or something that people are passionate, a hobby, something where people spend irrational money, that they have a craving, something that has passed one of those check boxes to fit the criteria for long-term passive income. If you skip that step, then it may not last for passive long-term income. So make sure you check all the boxes and find out what people crave. Make sure by now you should have already found out their spot, their hangout, where you're going to find them. Or is the audience mostly on Facebook? Are they on blogs? Are they tweeting? Are they Instagram? Are they in Amazon? Are they live events right now? So you should know where your audience is. Are they on the forums? You should have already been figured out their buying habits, so you know what it is they're openly spending money on. And for example, it doesn't have to mean you're going to sell something directly. We're going to go through a lot of different ways where you can monetize, and some of them are purposely left out because I'm not a fan of some of them, but they are valid, so I'm just going to mention it shortly. But you got to know how you're going about an idea of what you're going to be monetizing, and by now you should know how you're going to differentiate yourself, stand out, and you've got your your plan of attack on what you're going to do. So with that idea in mind, everything you've covered, if you haven't already, go back and watch week 1 and 2. And you shouldn't even be here if you haven't done this already, because just listening and watching the videos and not taking action on it is actually doing nothing for you or your business or changing your life at all. Education without action is the same as ignorance. If you might as well not learn it if you're going to learn it and not use it. There's actually no difference. It's just a waste of time. Might as well watch a movie because it's just entertainment. And that's not what we're here for. So, if you've got your idea in hand, we're going to talk about a few of the ways to get it created really, really fast. So, first, obviously, you got to decide what type of product is it. So, is it whatever it is that you decided on your niche and on your topic? Is it a physical product like a paperback book, or supplements like edible goods, something like that, or DVDs, physical things that go to the house, or merchandise of any kind, like some of the ones we talked about in the previous weeks, but this can go on and on and on for physical. The T-shirts, we showed things like Teespring and talked about that, and all the different ways you can, sell T-shirts online with print-on-demand items. We've got wine labels, like the guy who was selling custom wine labels, printing them from his house in his own printer and then just mailing them manually. Mugs, again, you can use any of the print-on-demand. You can just search print-on-demand websites. There's tons of big ones, but you can easily search and find which ones you want to use that create things for you where you don't pay unless someone buys it. So the topic, let me just write it down just to make sure. You want print on demand is what that's called. So you're not buying a bunch of inventory up front. You just send them your designs, and once someone buys it, then they create the one specific for that person, take a lot of the profits, and you keep the difference. So print on demand obviously has less margins, but low to zero risk involved. Another example we gave was a giant yoga mat, oversized yoga mats, the physical product, or the mirror glasses like we showed the guy who's the rock climber, and showed himself doing the rock climbing. We got two people saying there's no sound. Okay, I just want to make sure before I keep going. Can anyone else hear me? Is it just the one person, or do I need to start all over? Well, if anyone else can hear me, tell me you can hear me. I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, perfect. So it's not just me. So, barring interruption, we'll just try to get this really quick. Here. Change your sound settings. Drop down in the right hand side. Just put that in there. I'll leave that there for 2 seconds. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Yeah, it's obviously the one person. Thank you. Yep, so sounds good. Everyone says sounds good. Really quick. Whoops. Just messing it up. The whole thing up. Alright, so moving right along. Hopefully that helps and you don't have no sound for this entire call. So with print on demand, like I was saying, there's less margins, but it makes it almost zero to no risk because you're not putting anybody up front, you're not buying any merchandise. But there's way less, you're going to make way less on it. So that's a good way to get started. You find something that's taking off, and maybe you want to go into creating it, private labeling it, and getting your own made, like we will talk about later. And again, there's one or two really big popular ones, but we can just show you. I know it's in here. The browser, there it is. I can show you if you just search. The reason why I don't put in the one site that everyone uses is because I've heard that they are the most expensive. So I kind of want you to do your own research and find one that is right for you. Lulu, so Lulu does it. So you just search print on demand, create spaces for books, lots of books. We're doing print on demand. You can also do, so most of these are for books, print on demand. Merchandise, that should bring up some more. So Amplifier, another site, Gallery, Cafe Press. That's the one I was talking about as one of the most popular. Lots of people use Cafe Press. But again, you can search around and you've got options. You can find some better pricing. If you just want to get something going quick, Cafe Press lets you take your design, whatever it is, you can upload it. You can put it on a shirt. Unlike Teespring, that is only T-shirts, this one lets you take whatever design you've already created, put it on a mug, back of a clock, T-shirt, Kindle covers. I mean, you got to play around on this site. Keepsake box. It has so many options you can think of for different designs and merchandise, and you don't pay anything. So remember, you're trying to think of something that goes great with your audience, and some killer design or message that you figured out in week 2 that they're really going to resonate with, that has that shareability we talked about. So Cafe Press is just one of many. So I don't want you to ever feel like you just got to use the same site everyone else is using, because there's tons of sites that do this, and you got so many options, and you can probably get a lot better pricing than some of these other ones. Because when someone is the most popular, that also means they get to be the most expensive. Supplements, same thing. If you're doing something that's edible, consumable, something like that, whatever it is that you decided what your product is it digital? So we went over a bunch of these before. Are you gonna create an ebook? Does your audience really consume ebooks online like Kindle or regular PDFs or something like that? And is it going to be a course, a video course, or an audio course? And obviously for digital goods, I obviously like video courses because for me, they're personally my fastest to get done. For you, it may be something different. You may be a prolific writer, but for me, I find I like video because faster to create and higher perceived value. Those two are the main points why I do video courses. So an ebook, someone gets an ebook, even though some people may say they want an ebook to just scan it really quick so they can get the product. Bottom line, it almost always has a lesser perceived value than, say, a 10-module video course. And the funny thing is, video courses are actually easier to create, because if you wanted to make an hour-long video, typically there's a little bit of prep, but you start the video when you're done recording at an hour, you've got an hour-long video. For me, writing, thinking when I have an outline, I already know what I'm going to teach, talking about it and showing it on a screen and video, which is usually more helpful, is a lot faster than writing it, because writing, you've got so much editing you have to do. When you go back, clean stuff up, grammatical errors, formatting, and all that good stuff takes me a lot longer than it does to create a video. Because if I'm doing a video and I stutter and say, all right, so the next thing I want you to do is go to Yahoo, even though it may be a little bit annoying, out of habit as you're talking, people will forgive a few ums and ahs and messing up in a video than they will seeing ums and ahs if it was in a typed PDF, or, you've put "you-are" instead of "your" and misspelling. You got some grammar police out there that will go crazy and they can't even read the book or get the value out of it just because the grammar is messed up. So for me, it's more hassle and less valuable in the long run as far as perceived value to do an ebook. So I do video because it's faster to create. But an ebook does have more longevity. So the thing is with ebooks is they get shared. And yes, I've taught this before. People are afraid of people sharing their ebooks and stuff, so they try to lock it down and get all these things to hide it, and so it's never shared. And you got to think, if someone shares your ebook, that means they liked it enough to teach someone something, and chances are, if they enjoyed it, they may come back and sign up to your list or buy something else from you. So to me, I see it as free advertising, because if they're trying to get it, they probably weren't going to pay for it anyway. So if they get it for free, I said I probably shared an ebook or two at least a few times this week with someone who needed help with something, because it's easy to pass around. But if someone says, hey, I need some quick tips on copywriting, I have a couple of books and PDFs, I would send them. But I'm not going to send somebody that 5 gig video course with 39 modules and everything because it's inconvenient. So with an ebook, you kind of get spread around and get free traffic, free exposure because it's a small, lightweight file and people can scan it quickly and get the answer they want fast. So video, higher perceived value, faster to create. You get more life out of an ebook because it travels. It'll travel the net. It'll get spread around. And people will share it. Audio is kind of the mix between them both. I love audio as well because it's the same thing. You just have your talking points, talk. Once the audio is done, it's done. You may have minimum editing parts that you've messed up, but there's a lot less editing in audio than there is in the video. You can do live trainings like this, like a live webinar or live in person or however else. We'll get into those ways later. If you're going to do digital, it could also be a membership site where they're paying monthly, which is also great because you like reoccurring income coming in over and over and over. So things like the Book of the Month Club, whatever it is that your site is, if it's something that's, say, romance novels or something, maybe they get a Book of the Month and they pay monthly. Or if it's internet marketing and you've got a free traffic course, and each month they get a new strategy on how to drive traffic for free. Another one that's still popular, these have been around for a long time, and it's funny, the title is Free Monthly Giveaways, that people sign up to these sites and for paid to get free giveaways. So you just, whatever it is, the topic that you can think of, kind of like the Groupon thing, except you can do free or discount. People sign up for a monthly, and then your job is basically to go out and find them special offers, deals, and discounts that you send them every month, and probably through an affiliate link so you get paid twice. These, if you could find a way to tie this into your site, monthly giveaways where people sign up and pay monthly and you just go out and find them good deals is brilliant. This is an old tried and true method. It still works. You just got to really hammer down your market. You can't just say this site is all about giveaways and one day you're giving away frequent flyer miles for plane tickets and the next day you're giving away a coupon on a dental exam. It's got to be something specific. Like if it's going to be travel giveaways, then give away things that have to do with travel. Or if it's going to be whatever your market is targeting, gifts for mothers, whatever it is that you target, you can do monthly giveaways for a price and just really put together, spend your time marketing and get really kick-ass free stuff that you can give away. You just got to really market to the right people and get people. You'd be surprised how many people you reach out to will be glad to give away something of theirs, for the exposure. Another option is software. If you're going to get software created, or like website themes or anything like that, or scripts, which is kind of the same, software themes or scripts, that's why I put those in there. So example of scripts and themes is like the Kindle plot generator. That's something another client actually created. He found a niche that writers were having trouble coming up with new plots all the time. So we had this software made for really cheap that basically had a bunch of different criteria like starting point, cliffhanger, climax, and basically he just input like 100,000 different possible scenarios into this software that would just randomize them and spit them out, so it would spit out you a whole plot just by clicking a button in a matter of seconds. And if you didn't like it, you just clicked it again and it would reshuffle and randomize it. It came out with something like 800 million different possible combinations, so you could never get this, or it would be really, really unlikely to get the same one again. And he did the same thing because that took off and did so well. He did the same thing with a character generator. So again, it was just a really simple, lightweight software that got created for. I think we got it created for like $75. to get this lightweight software. It was about 300 KB in size, but it was extremely valuable. So it put in like 1,000 different criteria. So put in all these different eye colors, all these different backgrounds, all these different number of siblings, 1,000 different names, 1,000 different body types, different likes, different hobbies, different dislikes, different allergies. You know, it was just all these different criteria were same thing. You would never get the same character, exact same character as somebody else that comes out of the software twice. You click a button and it spits them out. And people absolutely loved it because, you know, something you already have to do as a writer, but now you can do it faster. So it's anything that's going to save you any time. And I think, as I said, I think we got this software created for like $75, and that quick launch in the first week, it might have sold about $5,000 worth on just because he had a good idea and paid $75 to have this thing created. So the money is made in the idea. That's why I want you to spend a lot of time making sure you got your idea down. Same thing with plenty of people have sales letter templates. You know, I know people are terrified of trying to write a sales page. They just want fill in the blanks. So there's lots of this has really been popular lately. Sales letter template that just says, you know, insert big problem here, insert need, insert bullet, and you just fill out a form, click a button, and a sales letter spits out. If you can just come up with ideas of things that people are already doing that they're having a problem with, and it can be automated faster, and you send the idea to, you know, the coder, unless you're a coder yourself, usually you just tell them what you want in it. They will give you a quote back how much it's going to be, and you can get something done like that really quick. Next one is it could be consulting, coaching, or services. So if you're going to be doing services or consulting, you're going to do it live, which is, you know, if you're advertising, you know, best killer tattoos or yoga instructor, rock climbing, those are examples of live coaching, consulting, teaching, whatever it is. Or over the phone, decide if it's going to be like live, like Google Hangouts, Skype chat, masterminds, mentorship. How are you going to be delivering whatever it is that however it is you're going to be monetizing it. And then the one that I said I didn't mention because I don't really like it as a business model, even though if you get enough, if your traffic takes off enough, the site is popular enough, it can be great income, and that is advertising. So you can make really good money if you already have the traffic in advertising. So a couple of options are selling an email to subscribers. People will pay for that. Selling a link, your YouTube vid, or anything. It could be audio, boo, could be YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is. You can pay you to put their link in your videos to subscription. Promoted post on your Facebook page. And the obvious one, AdSense, which is add space on your website. I did that backwards. Let's go. So you can put ad space on your website like AdSense, where paid per click, or sell banner ad space paid up front regardless of clicks. So you can also, regardless of clicks, sell banner ad space where, you know, you say, okay, for this top banner ad, it's $200 for a month, and regardless of how many views or how many clicks it gets, that's just the price. Like, an example of this Warrior Forum is a king of, I mean, they have a really good banner ad option that's going on their site. You pay $100 per day for this position at the top and bottom of their website. So to have your ad that goes here, and I probably have my ad block on so it's not showing, which is awesome. For example, I didn't think it would work even on this, but so right here, this empty space is supposed to be a banner ad, but my ad blocker just makes things disappear, which is badass. You can pay for an ad right here, whether it gets 1 million views or 1 million clicks or one, you still pay the same amount, which is $100 per day. And then at the bottom, you can do the same thing. There's supposed to be an ad here, and that's $50 per day. So if your site gets enough traffic, you can just have them pay up front, or you can have them pay per click. So you can see the pricing and read all about that. So those are those options. I usually don't tell people this because I like advertising as a secondary or in addition to income source. I don't like relying on having people click away to leave your site as your monetization strategy because it makes you do stupid things. When your site, your only way you're making money is people advertising, it just makes you, it forces you to be stupid, otherwise you don't make money. So you start putting your ads in the middle of your blog post, in the top of your page, the side, as pop-ups, and it just lowers the user experience on your site, let alone you're hoping people leave as soon as they get to your site. You're like saying, okay, now that I've done all this work to get you here, please leave, otherwise I don't make any money. Click this link and try to get to the site you were really looking for in the first place. So I don't like advertising other people's stuff as a monetization strategy. If you put banner ads and stuff on your site to sell your own stuff, then by all means, that's brilliant. And I can show you an example of that if it won't block out my own ads from my own site. So here you go. So here's my site, and here's one of the banner ads at the top. So it's my blog, where I've got stuff, my regular blog posts. What's happening here? So my normal blog posts and everything else, but up here I have a banner ad that leads to my coaching. So I don't do ads or pop-ups and other people's stuff because I have my own products. I want to sell my own stuff. So I'm okay with advertising on your site if you're advertising your stuff. But to me, it's just bad business as your primary to be hoping someone leaves your site with putting stupid, ugly ads all over your site and lowering the user experience. So how do you create it? Once you've decided you know what you're going to create, how are you going to create it? I'm not going to spend too much time on most of these because you may already know they're obvious. So if you're going to do a digital product, where's the rest of them? All right, if you're going to do a digital product, obviously one of the ways you could do it is create it yourself. Yeah, that one's supposed to be there. I don't know what's happening today. Digital product, you can do video, screencasts. If you're writing a book, you write it yourself. Whiteboard videos are really popular, more professional looking. Brennan Burchard is good at these. Frank Kern is really good at these. And that's when you set your camera up, and instead of just doing talking head or something, you have a real live whiteboard in the background with a pen, and you're writing the stuff out physically as they're doing it. Those are really, really popular, look really, really professional, and a good way to do your trainings if you're doing some sort of a digital training. If it's going to be audio, speaking, anything like that, you need somewhere to host it. I absolutely love SoundCloud. It's just been my favorite lately. It has lots of features that when I look through all the other ones that the other ones just did not have. So SoundCloud allows you to basically, you can make a membership site just using SoundCloud on your own, because SoundCloud is one of the only ones that lets you make hidden content. So just like with YouTube videos, how you can upload it and have some that are public and have some that are unlisted and only people with the link can find the video, that's the same thing with SoundCloud, which no other one can do. Other ones let you do private messaging, but none of that I have found can let me take the audio, say for example from this course, I could take the audio, upload it to my personal SoundCloud, and make it private and only give you guys the link. And only if you have the link will you be able to see it that I've given you privately, like in an email or something like that. But if someone just publicly goes to my feed, it will never show up because it's hidden. And that is just one of the cool features. So you can, without having a website and domain and messing with all of that hosting and Amazon S3 and stuff like that that gets techie, you can simply use SoundCloud, host all your audios. They can embed them into a website if you want to do a membership site, or you can simply send people right to SoundCloud, to your hidden stuff, and people who haven't paid for it won't get it. Love SoundCloud. So now if we're doing physical products, that's where I want you to, and this is where you should go. This is the wave of the future. This is where I'm moving to, and I hope you do eventually at some point. I think everyone should have their own branded, private label, physical product. One of the most popular is Alibaba.com. And again, just like with Cafe Press, sure, you can search and find other people put in keywords like private label, product, and things like that. And you can find other ones that do it. But Alibaba is one of the biggest private label sites on the web, and they get the best pricing because most of their providers are from China, but you can get them from other sources. So I'm just going to show you an example of how easy this is, because I know it's kind of terrifying for most. A lot of people are afraid of private labeling and doing stuff on their own. I'm going to go to the big web browser for this one, if I can spell, because I really want you to see this. So now you can't see it yet. It's kind of kooky the way this works. Alright, so I'm just going to pull something up to show you really quick. This is Alibaba right now, so if I go to Amazon.com, I'm just going to show you a few examples if you haven't heard of this site or haven't done it before, and how easy this really can be. So right now, best-selling in food and strainers, #1 bestseller is this nut milk bag for $8.99. So other people are popping up now, selling pretty well. The number of reviews, $8.95, $8.35. So if you look at the picture, kind of all look the same. Amazing nut milk bag. It's just really a piece of like cloth with a towel at the bottom, and maybe they just threw their own label. But if you look at all these, they're pretty much the exact same. So we're talking they're making $10, and if it's up here, it's selling. This one's, again, the design and everything's the same. Only thing that's different is the label. So you go to sites like Alibaba.com and go, not even getting creative with the search here. This is an option, first one that comes up, pricing from $1 to $2.50 a piece, and minimum units 100. So you could get started selling, and I'm just looking at the first one. You can actually negotiate and get a lot better pricing. But we're just going to take the first one, and we're going to say $1.25. Say $1.25, minimum order is 100. So your investment would be $125 to invest in this bag, and see they're selling on Amazon for $10, $10.95. Let's go with the bestseller. Say you wanted to beat out the #1 bestseller, $8.99. So if you put yours at, let's say, $7.99, just for example, because you really want to beat him out. So say $7.99 times your 100, $7.99 minus what you cost. So you'd make $6.75. And, you know, give or take, I'm just giving you an example, you know, you got shipping and all that other stuff. $600 every time you place this order. So would you not want to put in $100 low risk to be in the physical product and get $6.75 back every time you put in $100? And I just found that just with a simple search. I'm going to do another one really quickly. Just to show you what these people are really doing. You know, and the prices are even lower. Like I said, you can negotiate. So look at these, 25 cents. You can get them at 25 cents a bag. What's your ROI if you paid 50 pieces and only paid 25 cents each? What's your risk there? 25 cents times 50. We're talking $12 to get into a physical product. And get a physical product on Amazon and be selling, or selling it on your website or Etsy or eBay or anywhere else you want to sell it. There's like low risk if you find a good hot selling product. So I found another one earlier, so let's just go. If I could spell again, I don't know if that's right. It doesn't look right. All right, does look right. So I found a bestseller, and there's plenty of these on here. But let's just scan a couple of these so we can see. There's the one I like. This one right here. It's got 18 reviews, selling pretty well, $11.99. Lightweight, no moving parts, not a whole lot of things that can break or go wrong. Let's just look. Alibaba, say you wanted to get into the knife, scissor, scissor sharpening business. What would it take you to get into that? So we're on here shopping. So they were talking 95 cents a piece. So look at that. Is that not the exact same picture as these two? Only this one put a label on the handle. Exact same product. They're getting it for 95 cents a piece. Minimum order there is 800. Minimum order here is 2,000. So yeah, if they're $1, it's going to cost you $2,000 to get into it. But you can negotiate. This one's minimum is 1,000, but you got 69 cents. And there's another one, 800, 78 cents. That's the exact same photo right here. They didn't even try to change it. And they're selling these for $11.99. So look at the markup from 89 cents to now $11.99. So I just wanted you to see that the options of getting into the physical, because when I say digital, a lot of people understand, and so it's easy. I can create an ebook. All I have to do is write it, and once I'm done, it's done. There's zero risk. And private labeling, there's lots of risk. You have large bank account, lots of money, and you can risk losing a bunch of money. Well, I just showed you two examples, nut milk bag and knife sharpener, where you can really get into it for under $100. Have your stuff shipped directly to Amazon, and Amazon Prime sells it for you. So another example, another way to get your product, whether it's physical, digital, whatever it is, or software, like we said, is getting it out to someone else. So not recommended when you're first starting out as far as digital stuff, like writing, copywriting, your books, a course, your blog, things like that. When you're first starting out, I recommend that you do it yourself first so that you have an estimate of how long it should take, what is great quality, and understand exactly, hey, I have something to base it on. Otherwise, you don't know if they're doing a good job or not if you have nothing to base it on. So I always say do it yourself first if possible. If it's software, or something like that, and you have no coding experience like myself, yeah, you may want to, just ask around and ask other people what it took them to get it cost, and you have to go on a recommendation. With any other digital product, coaching, writing, all that, plenty will tell you just outsource everything, outsource, outsource, outsource. Even in real estate investing, people who come to me and they just want to outsource the entire process of buying and selling property. And you can, but how do you train them and know that they're doing a good job if you haven't first done it yourself? So in most cases, not all, I don't first time until you have an idea of what it is that you want done, so that you can teach them what to do and have a basis on whether or not they're doing a good job. And the only way you can do that is if you've done it yourself first. Next one is bringing in an expert. This one can be fun, and it's one of my other favorite ways to get into any market really quick. So you can find someone else and you leverage their expertise and work together on creating something. I do this all the time. I've got so many projects and launches and things that I do that you'd never hear about because I do them with other people, or even in pen names or other experts and things like that. So this works fantastic by working with someone else. So got an example here. You get to this method allows you to create a product on anything your heart can desire. If you bring in someone else as the expert, you can create a product on any single thing you want. So one example is Dan Spingola is probably on this call. We came up with a product called 24-hour. Yeah, it was a list building product or solo ad product on solo ad arbitrage. It was an undercover solo ad blueprint or something like that. It was a while ago. But at the time, to be honest, I had barely even known what solo ads were. I think I hadn't even bought but maybe one in my life. But at the time, solo ads were hot, and they kind of still are a hot topic around for a while. And it's a solo ad is basically what we were talking about before, is when someone pays you to send an email to your list. It's like a promoted email. So at the time, everyone wanted to learn about solo ads. I saw a bunch of solo ad products that were coming out that were doing really, really well. So it was a hot topic. But me, I couldn't create a product on solo ads because I knew nothing about solo ads. So I brought in expert, or kind of found each other, Dan Spingola, who was a full-time solo ad seller as his business. That's what he did. One of his businesses was selling full-time solo ads every day. So we created the product together. So we used my marketing and sales experience together, joined with his knowledge and expertise on how to create a solo ad business, because he was actually doing it. So there was no guesswork, no research, no anything that was needed on my part, because all I did was get an expert of someone who was already doing it and interview them and have him tell us all about his business and what he does and break it down how someone else can do it. And within 24 hours of going live, we were product of the day because it was a hot topic. It was really, obviously a really well-written sales letter that hit the market and hit all the hot buttons. There's a lot of the components that go into it. But without meeting Dan or talking to Dan, it probably would have taken me, probably weeks or so of researching and figuring stuff out if I wanted to try to launch a solo ad course on my own, and it probably would not have been as good. But since just going straight to an expert, I was able to, launch a product within 24 hours just by interviewing an existing expert. This works so well. Find someone to partner with on almost anything that you can do. If you can bring somebody in on anything, absolutely. This whole business, it doesn't work as well when you try to do everything on your own. That's just a lesson to take with you. Try to get help and work with people on every single project that you do, because they're going to be strong in points that you're not, and you're going to be strong on things that they're not. So you complement each other, and you're just stronger in groups. You always can do more together than you can do alone. So this worked really well. We did an interview. That was the one we did, an interview style product. But another way is to rebrand an existing product. Now there's plenty of different ways to do this, but I'm just going to give you a couple of quick examples so that you get the point. But taking something old and making it new. So say you have either your own product or the expert you bring in or someone else who has a product, take it and make it new. And we'll talk about Trevor as an example. But so you can find products on ClickBank. You can find products that are selling on eBay, or product people trying to sell stuff on Etsy, or any of these other sites, whether you're going physical or digital. You can take something that they already have and make it into something newer and make it sell better. So Trevor Emden has a product. He's also known as Wizard of Wisdom. He had a product called Words in Air, and he launched it years ago, many moons ago, years, and said he sold like 5 copies. I don't really remember what it sold, so he wasn't really happy with it and thought the product was no good, so he was scrapping it and starting all over. But short story, we took that product, rebranded it, rewrote the sales letter, gave it a new twist, and it took off. The product sold like crazy. So again, we took his expertise of something that he was already good at with this product, because the product was well done. Partnered with me, someone who had better at the marketing and sales, and together we were able to make a really kick-ass product and launch with a simple rebrand. We took something that was old, was already existing, so very little work actually needed for Trevor, because he had already done the work a long time ago. So it's leveraging some work he had already done once and being able to resell it again, just with making it a new, fresh angle and updating it and changing it. So with the finding an expert option, you get something where they create it but you sell it. That's kind of what the theory here was. Was it something they create but you're the one who's selling it because you know how to sell better than the average person, because they're good at what they're good at. So we'll talk more about that in the next section. So I want to expand on this point a little bit, so I made it its own little section. So if you want to, another way to create your product is use something that is existing. And before we go into this, I'm just going to take a drink and make sure sound and everything is good. I want to make sure you can still hear me, and if there's any questions, so that I'm not talking to myself. Okay, so there's temporary loss of sound a few minutes ago, but temporary is good. That means I still have sound. Good then. All right, we'll keep going then. Let's drink. And Christopher says, talking to yourself, sometimes the only way to get an intelligent response. Brilliant. Christopher, I thought it was Christian. Why does it say Christopher? Anywho, so we'll keep continuing. There's no other questions. So using an existing product, something that's already out there, that you can build your entire site around one central product or theme. Now, don't overlook this idea. This has been done brilliantly so many times. So if you don't want to create your own product, or you have something that's existing and you just need to rebrand it, remarket it, and you've got a fresh new angle, you don't have to come up with a new product every single week and everything like some of the people in the IM world get stuck on the perpetual launch of a product every week. You can build your entire site around one central theme. So we will take the survivalist as an example. So the survivalist niche, say you saw a really good selling, what do you call it, bug out bag, basically a survival kit. Basically when everything hits the fan, you're supposed to have a bag that's ready that has everything you need to survive the zombie apocalypse or whatever happens with that niche. So say there's a hot selling, you found a website, it doesn't even have to be yours. Say you found a website that has a badass bug out bag that's selling for like $5.99 and it's trending right now, and you've seen that the site is selling 100 units a day, and you have two options. You could either try to compete with them and try to create your own and have your own unique spin on it, or you can also sell their bag as an affiliate and get a portion. And there's two different ways you can do it as an affiliate. I'm going to talk about either as an affiliate, straight up regular affiliate, or as arbitrage. So if you were to do that, you could have an entire blog, you know, example of bugoutbagtricks.com or something like that, or surviving the apocalypse, and you have a whole site of tips, tricks, and everything that's around the idea of having the best kick-ass bag. So then you can even put products like, you know, that knife, hammer, sword, nunchuck, axe thing that was all in one that we saw in week 1 on Shut Up and Take My Money site. You know, you can have things like that on how to build the best. You can even have tutorials on how to build the best bag and what should go in it and all that. And every single page, every article, every post, every YouTube video, every pop-up, every banner is all just leading to selling that bug-out bag that's the best-selling one for $5.99, and you're selling it as an affiliate. So if you start getting a ton of traffic, and then maybe you start selling 100 of those bags a day as an affiliate, and then maybe then you may want to branch out and start making your own. But don't try to think about a wide variety of, you know, 50, 60 different types of things you want to sell. Get your one central main idea around this product that you're going to create. I mean, you can build a whole site around it, even if it's not yours. So affiliate products is basically the standard ways where, say you go to Amazon or ClickBank or somebody, like you come to me and I have a course that's $50, and I say you can promote it as an affiliate. So it generates a link for you, and I say I'm offering 50%. So you go and you write an article and you put my course on your article, and if someone comes from your article and buys it, I get $25, you get $25 because it was your referral. That's an affiliate, standard affiliate link. Now, arbitrage works a little bit different. So if you were to do a site like we were talking about, bestsurvivaltechniques.com or whatever, if a niche-specific website, you make it a premium, so you give them an entire experience that you're setting up. So maybe you add bonuses to it. Maybe you price yours as the most expensive. You know, just for example, you could change nothing else other than the price. So he's charging $500 for his bug-out bag. Then you put it on your site for $5,000 because you're the premium and you market yourself as the best. And there would be more going into it. I'm just saying this business model, I'm using this as an example, is done all day, every day. My site is the best one. I have the premium, high-end, good stuff. And that's how I market my site, as not the cheap stuff, the good one. I sell my bag for $5,000, and because there's people who price shop who want the best. If there's a price is too low, like we were talking about my dad and the golf clubs and all that, if the price is low, he just assumes it's cheap without even doing any research. So he wants the most expensive item because he believes it's the best. So you can mark it up, charge $5,000 for your bug out bag, and then go to the same site for $5.99 when you get an order, buy it from them for $5.99, and directly ship it to the buyer, and you keep the difference. That basically the short version of arbitrage. So if I'm using the other example again, it's selling my product. So my product is $50. He actually lists the sales price on his site for $200. They actually buy it from him for $200. He then orders it from me for $50 and keeps the difference. So it takes really, really good branding to be able to pull that off, but that's the difference in arbitrage. You mark it up and still buy it from the existing source. So you can also take an existing product and use a brand new sales method. So example of this is taking that $7 PDF. So you have an ebook that's teaching something that you bought for $7 and expanding it. So each chapter may just be 3 or 4 or 5 pages that talk about each point. And in a PDF, they really can only do it briefly. What you can do is take each chapter or even each paragraph and break it down and go deep, deep, deep dive into each topic and make it into, you know, hour-long modules or videos. And now you've turned the $7 product into a $9.97, you know, mastermind course. Same thing is in physical products. You take a dead product and expand the reach. So say you have somebody who has a semi-decent audience and they're selling products on Etsy. They're selling products on Etsy, but not selling enough. And because you know how to market and reach audience and write better, you can reach them, market to them, and strike up a deal where you will put their products in Amazon and market for them. So now they're reaching 10 million people on Amazon, and you just get a portion. So products that are selling or maybe selling well, you can find people who have existing products, just like existing ClickBank products that aren't selling, or work with existing physical products people have created that aren't selling, or like Trevor, who has an ebook that created that's never selling. You find a way to expand the reach, so take it off Etsy and put it on Amazon, or take it off ClickBank and bring it to Warrior Forum, or something like that. So I want to talk about why this works so well. The reason why people are happy to do this is because, think about this, they wouldn't be making anything if you didn't reach out to them. They're probably not happy with the results they're currently getting, and the option of you're going to make more money for them, like who wouldn't take that? You're going to say, you know, I'm going to take your product and make it hit, you know, 10,000 more people, and if it sells well, you just pay me out of the profit. So you're not risking anything by giving you anything up front. So you're getting paid because you're a better marketer than them. You know, most writers, and you can find 1,000,001 Facebook groups for people who are just writers but have no idea. Even in this day and age, there's still 1 million people out there that have no idea you can self-publish your writing on Kindle. So even if one business model, you started your own publishing company pretty much, is what this new age allows you to do, you could offer a publishing service and just find 1,000,001 people on Amazon, on Facebook, who are just posting their heart out, writing all day long, but have no idea how to sell it. You offer them, you know, paid service. They pay you up front, and you get their book published in Kindle, so they can say they're published. Or you can also do an upfront fee plus royalties or something like that, or even offer to take their book and you publish it under your account and pay them up front. Like, I'll pay you $50 for the rights, you know, to your work, and you can become a publisher because you know how to market better than them. So the point I'm saying is there's tons of people with great ideas who are writers by passion, and all they know how to do is write and have no idea how to market. or people who are creators who know how to create products but don't know how to sell it. That's where you come in by making these partnerships. The same with bloggers. Same thing. I go 1,000,001 people who have blogs that love to write, blogs filled with brilliant content that absolutely are making no money because they don't know how to market the blog. They know how to write, and they're good at what they're good at. They love what they do, and they love writing, but when it comes to marketing, they don't have a clue. And that's where you can come in. That's why this method works so well. That's finding someone who has great stuff, has no idea how to make it reach the world. So you don't have to, the point I'm making is you don't have to create the products on your own or even at all. There's tons of other options. If you say, oh, I don't know anything, I can't create anything, I have a really good niche, but I don't know how to create my own nut milk bag, or I don't know how to create a bug-out bag kit and how to produce that and sell it. You don't have to. You can sell someone else's or partner with them. So I want no excuses. Again, this is a kick-ass no excuses. I'm showing you every possible way you can have something to sell in any niche, whether you have the experience of your own or experience of someone else. Now I just want to go over a couple of quick ways of how to test this ahead of time to ensure you have a winner. These are just a few quick checkpoints to look at, to know, so you're not going to waste your time. So if it's a digital product, it's pretty easy. One way to do it is to launch it before you create it. So I love this method. And I kind of did it with this one. It's not really the same, but I kind of did it with this course right here. Is a perfect example. Is I could have just made a 4-week kick-ass boot camp, spent hours creating the course first, putting all the material out, doing all the research that I've done all week, creating this module, get all that done, spend a month creating the product, and then just launch it inside a membership site and remove the live aspect of it, and then launched it. And then what if it didn't sell? So most people spend, yes, I have students who came to me before who spent 6 months creating a freaking product, and then they go to launch it and they sell 10 copies, and then they're heartbroken. They're like, I spent 6 months on this thing and it didn't sell, this doesn't work, and that'll cause you depression and quit and want to give up. And that's why I teach is if you do it a live aspect, you can launch it first, and there's nothing misleading or deceiving about it. You tell them that up front. You say, this is going to be a 6-month class, you're going to get 1 lesson per month, and the first lesson starts next week. So at the time of you actually selling it, all you really need is an outline of what you're going to teach. Now if people buy it, you go, okay, this is awesome. Now I'm going to create this course because I got 10, 20 people who joined. This is common practice. You can do this. And if no one buys it, if you put it out there and no one joins, well, then you're only out, your sales message and your promotion. You don't have to create anything. You didn't waste any time. You go, oh, well, that would have sucked because no one was interested in that. So I need to rethink this and replan and do something different. I'm in a writing course right now, for example, one that I joined, and it was expensive. I paid a lot. Last year, I paid for this writing course, so I think it's been at least 9 months, and it's still not done. It was supposed to be a lesson every other week, and that didn't happen for whatever reason. Some things changed, and the book that they were writing as an example, they made some changes, re-edits. It was supposed to be 6 months, 1 module a month, and fell behind because the creator is writing a book with us, and they're not complete with the book. They have some plot changes and things that they're doing. So we're talking 9 months, and I think we're barely at halfway through what was laid out in the course. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying that if the topic is spot on, it's something people are interested in, they see the value in it and what they're learning, they're not going to have a problem waiting each week or even each month for their lessons or for their training or whatever it is you're creating, if you've told them that up front. So if they go in saying this is going to be a year-long course, you're going to get one mastermind training each month along with whatever other bonuses, then you can sell that before. You don't have to have all 12 months created if they're getting one a month. You can create the first lesson or even the outline, and you can do it live just like this is being recorded live. So that's how you can tell that you don't waste time, don't waste money. One way is to, if it's digital, you can always launch it before it's created and just tell them, even if it's not going to be a live training like this, and say for example, it was going to be a PDF, say it was going to be an ebook, say it was going to be a Kindle book. This is done all the time on Kindle. You can see this. You can probably search Kindle right now and find an example of pre-ordering a book. So I can come out with a topic, an idea of what I want to come up with for a new book on Kindle, and I can say, and you can go on there and find this. You can say the book will be launched in 3 months from now. So all you do is make the cover, the blurb, what it's going to be about, write the little blurb, put it up there and say we'll be live in 3 months from now, and start selling it. And you can start selling today, and then if the book starts selling, you see a few copies, well then you got to write it. If 2 months goes by and you haven't sold a single one that you've pre-launched, then don't write the book. Take it down and go, oh, there's obviously no interest in there. So I can find many examples of people buying something before it's created in order to get in. And why would they do it? Well, maybe you can make an incentive, an early bird discount. You can say, when this goes live, it's going to be X amount of dollars, but by buying it ahead of time, you get to pay, you get this much of a discount. It works very, very well, and it is common practice, so you don't have to think anything about doing that. I get comments all the time saying, it's dishonest, people want their stuff right away. And I tell you every time, as long as you set it up front, this is going to be weekly, monthly, or it's going to be your early bird. You're buying this book. The book is going to be written and be ready to go 3 months from now. As long as they know up front, there's nothing dishonest about it. If you don't tell them that until after they bought it, then yeah, that's dishonest. So another way to do it with physical products is like the nut milk bag that we talked about is a faux launch. And I learned this from someone else. That is, you drive your traffic, your visitors, whatever, to a sales page, has a sales letter, sales message, email, squeeze page, whatever it is you want to call it, landing page, blog post. Then it has the offer, the sales page, the checkout process, and a buy button. You click the buy button, and then at the cart, right where you would take their money, or they put in their credit card, PayPal, anything like that, you just have a redirect to a page that says, I'm sorry, we are all out of stock, or something like that. So it's not 100% accurate, because there are people who will click the buy button who have no intention of buying, but it will give you decent numbers to let you know how many people come through your sales process, sales page, blog post, video, audio, Kindle book, whatever it is, and actually click the buy button. And you just make sure you abandon it at the cart so that they don't actually pay. Or if you're using PayPal, this is really easy, or another merchant card. If you want to go as far as to let them buy it and then just immediately refund and say, we're sorry, we are out of stock, you may make people upset, but you can still just immediately refund them and say, get on a list to be notified when we have more in stock, because that way you know they're actually going to buy it because they paid. I wouldn't do that one because that gets expensive too with merchant fees and all that good stuff. But these are just ways we're trying to eliminate time wasters so you can figure out if something's going to be well selling before you create it. I'm not a fan of spending 6 months to create an idea and hope that it's going to sell. I like to know right up front if the idea is going to be good enough and make me money. And that's why most of my projects now have a really, really high success rate. You can't predict everything, but if you do these things, that way you can eliminate the chances of wasted time. So another way with the physical product is just like I showed you, is a small batch. So whenever if you're using Alibaba or something like that, see if you can get, a quantity of 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or something that a low quantity so you can test it out. Don't, for your first order, don't buy 8,000 pieces of whatever it is you're creating. Because you could have done something wrong at some point and got something wrong, and then now you have 8,000 of this thing that's never going to sell. So start off with a small batch, test it out, put it out there, see if it sells, and then reorder. Once you're out, again, take the list or whatever, however you can. But the point is, however you can, find a way to test before you spend a ton of time creating something. Make sure you know it's going to be selling. So another one is with consulting, coaching services. There's really no way you can really test that, and there's really no need because you're not creating anything up front. So if it doesn't sell with services and coaching or consulting, then you're not really out any time. So there's really no need to test that because you're not creating anything up front anyway. If you're using someone else's existing product, like with Trevor or with somebody's other product on ClickBank or someone has a product on Etsy or they have their own something or another and you're rebranding someone else's, you can use their existing stats to tell you whether or not this is going to work. So what you want to figure out is why is it not selling as much as it is? Is it a conversion problem or a traffic problem? So if someone says, my business isn't doing that good, I only make $200 a month, so they're thinking it's failed and they're like, I need to make $2,000 a month, so this obviously isn't going to work for me. Well, we'll do a little more digging. Don't just count it as a failed product. What if they're selling, a $5 product and they're selling 1 out of every 3, but they're only getting, oh man, I'm going to do math, 5, 200, 10, 20, 40. So they're only getting 40 sales per month, but what if you check their stats and they were only getting 50 visitors? So for every 50 visitors, they were selling 40. So they just look at the number of making 200 a month and said it's failing, and then you look at their conversion rate and go, holy crap, it's freaking crushing it. All they really need is to send more visitors. That's how you can know if something's selling or not. If they're only making $200 a month on a $5 product, but they're getting 50,000 visitors to that sales page a month, then yeah, you go, okay, maybe this needs a new sales letter. Maybe it needs a whole new funnel. Maybe it needs a whole new angle. It's definitely the conversion because the reviews are high. Customer reviews are high, no complaints, no low refunds. So they like the product, but your conversion rate is just absolutely terrible. So this is how you can know if this is going to be a winner before you get in. But if it's both, if they're getting 50,000 visitors a month and only making $200, and then the reviews are terrible also, that's how you know you probably don't want to get in with that with the existing one. But reviews are good. Conversion rate may just need editing, or if the conversion rate is extremely good, then all you got to do is send them more traffic, and you are good to go. So this is how different ways to test and make sure you're going to make some money before you. How about now? Now can you hear me? Believe I am back. Can you hear me and or see me? Let me know in the box if you can. Just talking about next week. Let me know if I am back. Alrighty, I am back. Island life is fantastic. You know already we just moved to the island, U.S. Virgin Islands, and apparently these hurricane-proof walls built of all concrete and brick don't really allow signal through too good. So signal already isn't strong on the island, but definitely indoors. Who's going to use their computer indoors these days? I appreciate the building is strong and standing, but it makes it really tough for internet because the signal don't go through concrete walls. So let's see, do I have to restart the screen sharing? I was just going to wrap up what we're going to talk about next week on the final lesson. Can you still see my screen, or do I have to get that back? I see that you say my sound is back. How's about screen share? Can you see my screen at all? Let me know if you can still hear me. I can see that the sound is back. All is well. So you can see the screen too? Okay, good. Well, we'll just wrap up then. So next week is going to be all about selling. So by now you should have picked your niche, picked your idea, picked how you're going to be selling it. You know, blog, Facebook, wherever their hangout is, a forum. Picked your product, the idea. You got whether it's going to be physical, digital, how you're going to do it, how you're going to get it created. If it's digital, you can easily create it yourself with the script. You may want to outsource it. If it's something you know nothing about, you may want to find a partner or someone who's already created something and just sell it on yours. Or find an existing product and affiliate or arbitrage or any other many ways that you can have a product created by next week, or use an existing one if you don't already have an idea. And now you're going to get it set up on your site. We're going to talk about how to get the traffic, how do you sell it, do you get free versus paid traffic, and how to maximize those profits. So next week is going to be the last one, the good one. It's going to be all about selling, making the money, collecting. And we'll try to ignore most of the technical crap. This is the kick-ass quick start. We want you to research and do any of the technical things like how to set up a PayPal, 5-button script and redirect and all that. We're not going to get into any of the technical stuff. Tons of videos on YouTube on how to do that stuff. So we're just going to get to the nitty-gritty, how to get set up quickly, start making some money, how to get traffic and visitors to your site, how to maximize profits. So we will do all of that on week 4 next week. So we will see you then. And any questions? So if you're still here, you happen to be on here live, go over a few questions really quick. If not, I will end. If there's anything pressing that you can't figure out, stuck on, something you want to talk about, now is the time. Otherwise, we shall end it here, and we'll see you next week. Give it a little bit longer for any more questions to roll in. Yes, I'll send the replay again. It's supposed to happen automatically, but I will send the replay manually as soon as MeetingBreeder sends me the notice that it's been encoded. Depending on how long it is, sometimes it takes longer. It takes a few hours or more, so I may not be done until morning, but I will manually send out the replay just to make sure. And if you don't get it, you can always email me at thisstuffreallyworks1.0@gmail.com. This stuff really works 1.0@gmail.com, and tell me you remember that you're here and you're looking for the replay for whichever week. And if for some reason you didn't get it or you don't have access, I will make sure to resend it to you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ooh, since it's in the questions, I'm glad you don't mind me talking about it. I know some people are nervous about sharing their ideas. Okay, this has to be one of the coolest ideas that have come out of the class so far. So I'll let the people who are here, we can actually vote on it together if anyone's still here who would like to. So one of the brilliant ideas that came out of class is piece of Florida or spoonful of Florida, or, we talked about expanding this and it can be the entire world. But have you ever been on vacation somewhere to the beach? It's common here when people go to the beach and you want a souvenir is common. You want a T-shirt, shot glass, bottle opener, or keychain that says the city, or postcard that says that you were there. But on a lot of the beach cities, it's really, really common for people to buy like a little tiny jar glass of sand. So it's basically, say if I was in Florida, I'm sure there's 1,001 shops that sell Florida sands. I can take it back with me and go, I got some fresh, authentic Florida sand. My wife and I actually have a friend who, her hometown, because she moved away from town, every time she goes home, she tries to bring some sand back when she visits to bring her, because it just nostalgia and reminds her of home. So this person has created an idea of a site called Spoonful of Florida or Piece of Florida. So kind of the sales message, I'll give you the short version, is wish you could come to Florida or want a vacation here and you can, feel like you're here without having to spend the money to come here. So it's kind of taking the funny angle. You want a vacation in Florida? Well, save yourself thousands of dollars having a vacation in Florida and bring Florida to you. For such and such dollars, we'll send you a patch of Florida grass or sand from the beach or whatever. So there's the funny angle. There's also the angle of, you can use the regular angle, get a souvenir, didn't get to get it while you were here, buy a bottle of sand, we'll have it fresh, authentic, or go to the sand, you'll get a picture, timestamp, whatever it is, you throw in some extras and make it authentic Florida sand. Maybe you'll have a picture standing there holding a newspaper or something as you shift it. But I thought, man, if that takes off, you could easily brand that later on and go pieceoftheworld.com and have people in India and have people in Bahamas and have people in Florida and people in Canada and California, and easily outsource someone and say, hey, I need a scoop of sand mailed to this address, and have all over the world, I want a piece of Ireland. I want somebody to send me a fresh piece of Ireland grass, whether it's because I have the funny angle because I want a vacation there, so I give that to my wife. As I see, now you don't have to go. Or I'm from there and I miss it and I want that piece just so I can feel like I'm at home. So I really, really, really love this idea. I think it's really cool, very unique, and it's thinking outside the box. It's fun. It can be funny. And I can see something like that taking off if you get it into the right hands, get the right marketing. So, question for people on the call live, what do you like better as the branding or domain? Spoonful of Florida or Piece of Florida? And wife just walked in. I'm going to ask her. We talked about the idea. Remember I was telling you about the student who came up with the great idea of sending someone a piece of Florida where you can scoop out some sand and send it to someone all over the world. Do you like, or branding-wise, what sounds better to you as a tourist who wanted to buy it? Would you like, hey, would you like to have a spoonful of Florida or pieceofflorida.com?
Pieceofflorida.com.
Piece of Florida rather than spoonful of Florida?
Yeah, because a spoon sounds small and a piece sounds like you're taking a chunk. I don't know.
Right on. All right. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate it. Okay, so my wife, since the question was asked which sounds better, My lovely and amazing wife, Cece, says, piece of Florida sounds better because she likes her a big old piece, and spoon sounds small. Kenan, who's actually live on the call, says spoon, votes for spoonful. Says spoonful sounds better. Could be like a screensaver of your professional pics of the place you're at. Oh, that's a good one too. Screensavers from all over the world. You can have all kinds of little bonuses that go with it. He says thank you. I will let her know you said thank you. She already walked out, left the room. She was just coming to refill my water because it's nice in here. And she's amazing like that. So far we got one vote for each, so I hope that it's not really helpful. One says spoonful and one says a piece. And everyone else who's here live is actually just asleep because they're not voting. So, so I guess I will be the tiebreaker. You know, I was kind of leaning towards spoonful just because it makes me think of the old song, A Spoonful of Sugar. What is that, Mary Poppins? Or showing my age over here. You probably never even heard of that, but originally when you said piece kind of rolled off the tongue better. I think that was your original, because piece of the world is kind of what we were talking about. Piece of the world flows better than spoonful of the world, I think, in my opinion. So for long-term branding and, you know, kind of like got milk slogans, you can say, I want to give a piece, get yourself a piece. Start your day off with getting a little piece. I think for funny, the different ways you can take it. You know, I kind of like peace. I kind of like peace too. So hope that helps. I keep rocking with this idea. I really, really, really want to see you go far with this one because I think it's unique. I think it's fun. I would definitely, you know, my personality, I would absolutely go after the funny angle of it, of, you know, make silly videos like give it to your kids as their honeymoon. You know, you say, Dad's taking care of honeymoon, and here you go, and you hand them a piece of, you know, Bahama grass and a, you know, palm tree leaf, and you go, here you go, this is authentic with their certification right from the Bahamas, so we brought the, you know, Bahamas to you. Or Barbados probably is better. If we were talking with, you know, some of the people on the call, I would probably root for Barbados. But a little piece I think would work best with that. But someone also says you can also split test it and see which one gets a response. Buy both domains, have one redirect to the other, and then ask the audience what flows once you build a big enough brand. You can also, or Facebook page. He knows the Spoonful of Sugar song. See, lots of oldies on this call here. There you go. See, honey, I bought you some Florida real estate, and you can make some really, really silly. I mean, I had a few silly videos someone sent me this morning because I'm always sharing that stuff, but it was actually another site doing something similar, but it's really borderline of, we'll say vulgar, not really vulgar, but we'll say inappropriate, so I won't share, but it's another site that I think is doing really good at taking something simple and making a funny angle on it. So I think that has more shareable viral potential if you use the funny, you know, purposely funny angle as more of like gag gift rather than the real piece of the world. But you could probably do both. You know, keep me posted on your feedback as you're going with this. Would love to hear how far you take this because I think it's a really fun and cool idea. So start out with Florida, next stop the world. All right, and if there's no more questions, thank you guys for came here live. Hopefully you're doing the work like this person is who's already got their site up Even got a sales letter written and a buy button testing out this market. That's someone who's taking over world domination. I love it. That's where you guys should be. You should already be taking action, already have your idea, maybe not as ambitious as this one. It already has a sales page and website up and everything ready to go, which is awesome. But that's the only way you're going to know if this is a great idea. Right now he can throw a buy button on the page, just like we said, and abandon at the cart, throw some traffic at this and see if it's a viable idea. Or he can create a Facebook page, piece of Florida, start making some posts, pay some little advertisements, and see if you get likes and see how viral the audience is, and test this out right now. So by next week, he can already have the feedback, know if this is a good idea, and either can it and go on to something else, or move forward with the next step and keep pushing it if you get great response. So you need to be able to take advice from, or take the example of this person, this student, and start doing the same for yourself. Get something out there, start testing some stuff. Don't just listen to this, actually put it in action. Let's see it happen, and hopefully you'll be sharing your success story. We'll be talking about what you've got done and what you're ready to sell next week. So until then, take action, review any of the material you need, and we'll see you next week.